So earlier in a video, I have shared with you how to animate without any experience. And I've shared that how do the beginners start animating and what do they do with the animation and what are the mistakes they make because they don't have the awareness how to do it. And today in this video, I'm going to share you about the basic assignment, which is pendulum, but it is very important. We will understand the principles of animation from this video. You have certain principles covered in this assignment. So if you go for any learning institute or somewhere for the animation program, these are the basics they'll teach you at the beginning. Yes. So in this video, I'm going to share you how to animate the pendulum. First, I will do it how the freshers are doing, right? The people who have already learned animation, how they are doing the animation. And then I will tell you or inform you that why is it wrong to animate in that way. And I will also share what is the correct way of doing the animation. Okay. So let's get into the video and understand how does this pendulum animation work properly. If you go for any of the studios to work and if you get something to animate which you can relate with the pendulum animation, then you have to do it in that way which I am telling you, the professional way. Okay, so let's dive deep into the video. So here, as you can see the file, this is the pendulum. Okay, and I will show you the animation what is happening in the file. So this is the animation which is done earlier, and I'm going to share you what are the mistakes people do while doing the animation. Okay, and we will also learn about the principles of animation through this assignment, the pendulum assignment. And here I have opened the play blast of the pendulum, as you can see in this QuickTime player. And suppose if I give this assignment to any fresher, what they'll do is they will click here, they will see the first pose, they will bring the pendulum here, they will hit S, and then they will move here. You can select frame number. What they will do, they will move to the next pose here, and they will see 7th frame, and then they will do this pose. Then they'll go next, and they will create again this pose. Then again this pose, right? So what is the mistake here is they will keep on copying everything which is there in the reference. So suppose this is the reference and you are told to do the pendulum animation. So this reference is for you to understand what is the mechanism of the pendulum. It is not about just copying the animation. And what freshers do, this is the biggest mistake they do, is they copy the animation. They don't have any idea about animation, and they dream about getting into big studios, and they don't realize that how they actually have to learn these things, right? And they are not even willing to accept that whatever they have learned is the wrong and they need to correct that animation. Okay, if you don't correct, if you don't believe, if you think that whatever you have done is right and you are not ready to learn the new things, then it will be very difficult for you to get into the industry, because this is how the industry works. And if you go in the industry and if you do the animation this way, the way you are doing now, then you are not going to get paid and you are going to struggle. You need to spend night outs for finishing your work because you don't know how to animate in the correct way, right? So if you don't know how to animate, even if people help you, you will have to spend a lot of time doing that animation, and you might get frustrated as a beginner in the industry because you did not know that this is how you have to work in the industry. Okay, so that is the reason of sharing this video, so that you can be aware how to do the animation and you can be more confident on doing the things. So this is the way they are making a mistake. They are copying every frame, right? And I have shown you very least because this is already done. What they do is they keep on hitting a key here, 4th frame, and then 6th frame, then again do this in between here pose, So whatever they do is they keep on doing the poses like this in a continuous manner without understanding that what pose is important, what key is not important. They don't know the purpose of the pose. And if you don't know the purpose of the pose, that means you have not learned animation in the right way. That is not how animation works, right? So this is the mistake you all fresher animators are making. And through this video, this will help you understand how you have to actually do it, right? So the whole purpose of doing this pendulum animation or teaching this pendulum animation in the animation program or the animation journey, wherever you learn, right? You don't know the purpose. When you learn it in the wrong place, you actually don't know the purpose, that why they are teaching you the pendulum thing, right? And I've seen a lot of people, if I ask them as freshers, like they have finished 3 4 years of education in animation, and if I ask you, let me ask you a question in this video, that why are you doing this pendulum animation? Do you have the answer for this question? Have anybody told you why they have taught you this pendulum animation? If you don't have the answer, then it's high time for you to get educated about animation in the right way if you really want to build a career in it. And if you just want to pursue as a hobby, then it's okay. But still, you will learn a lot of things in this video, which is the right way. Okay. So now I am going to share you the purpose, as you don't know why you are doing this pendulum animation. So the purpose for understanding this pendulum animation or this assignment in your course or program or journey is to understand some principles of animation through this thing. So what are the principles covered in this assignment? Which is like, when you do the pendulum animation, all the things which are there. So suppose if it has five, these are five chains, right? So when anything moves like this way, there is a principle called follow through and overlapping action. These two principles are covered through this assignment so that you can understand what is follow through and what is overlapping action. I will cover that topic in a separate video. I will show you exactly what is overlapping action and what is follow through. For this, you need to understand that these are the principles of animation for which this assignment is given to you so that you can understand how it works. Okay, so here is follow through and overlapping action, and the way you have been doing is in the continuous format, which what we say as one, we have pose to pose animation, and one we have straight ahead. So what generally freshers do is they do the straight ahead animation because they don't know why they are putting a key, just they have the reference. If you tell them to do something by their own without any reference, it will be very difficult for them to do because they don't know actually how to hit a key, where to hit a pose, which pose is important, which is not important, why are you actually creating that pose. Okay. So this is what you have understood. I believe that now you have understood what are the mistakes you are making, right? And the purpose of the pendulum assignment. Now I'm going to share you how you have to exactly animate this pendulum, right? As you can see, there are very minimum keys in my timeline, and you see this animation, right? If you see the same file, if any fresher animator does, you will see a lot of keys in the timeline because they don't know where to put the key. And now let's understand how I have done. So what you have to do, whenever you start this pendulum animation, first you have to think, what are you going to show in this pendulum animation? Okay. As I have shown, right? What I have shown. So I have shown the movement from position A to position B, right? Here on 18th it is stopping, from first frame it is moving. So it is just traveling from left to screen right. That is what we are going to do in this shot. So this is what I have decided. that this is how the pendulum will get animated. So what I'll do is I'll hit a key at first frame, which is the first pose, which is still, right? So the pendulum is still, it is not moving. So I'll select all the controls and I will hit a key S. Now you have to select the end pose. What is going to happen? Now here, it will reach on the 18th frame here, and we will just move this pendulum. Now this is the pose, you have to just move it. Make it straight only, and you just have to move it. Okay. And now this whole thing is settling of the pendulum. Now it is getting settled, right? Here it has stopped, and whatever actions it is going to perform to settle it down, that will happen next. But there will be no movement in terms of translation. In terms of position, there will be no movement. It's only rotation once the pendulum stops. So I have just moved it, right, from 1st to 18th, and all the frames are of settling the pendulum down. You have to select the first pose. This is the last pose. And now, if you move anything, right, if you move this pendulum, what will happen is, because of the force, because you are moving something, it is in a chain format, or maybe it is a cloth, anything which you have like this. So when you are translating it, it will travel back, right? Because of the air which is coming towards that, it is cutting the air. So the down part that will go behind, okay, that will follow. This is the main one, first one, and to this, these all other things will follow them. So when you move it, so this is following, right? If you can actually take any piece of paper or maybe cloth, if you just move your hand, you will see that the tail will go reverse and then it will come back and then it will get slowly settled. So here what I have done is I have hit a key in the reverse direction, then it stops here. Okay. So now the movement has been stopped. Now what will happen if any tail animation you have to do? So what will happen is all the other parts, first the top one which we have in our hand or the position which we are locking at the 8th frame. Now all the other things will have to move forward, right? They will go in the overlapping position. Now they are following, right? Now it's moving ahead and they are following. And now when it is stopping, it will overlap. Okay. This thing. Once it stops, the tail will go ahead again here. So the whole logic of pendulum animation is about curves. You know C curve, you know S curve, right? So the way you have to animate is, first is still, then it will go to C, then it will come to S, and then it will go to C. So this is how you have to animate the pendulum. C, S, and C. These are the curve formats. If you just take care of C, S, and C, your pendulum animation will be done properly. You don't have to worry about anything. If you make the proper poses using this CSC principle, like CSC, C curve, S curve, and again C curve, your pendulum animation will be done. Again, you see here S curve is there. Here it is C. Now again it is S, right? This is S curve. Again you will see here C curve. Again it will have S curve, right? And again C. Again you will have a little bit S, because now the upper position will get settled and slowly everything will get settled. So you have to stop one thing, then you have to stop the other one, then you have to stop the other one. Likewise, you have to settle the pendulum. You see C curve. Again this is little bit of S curve. Again this C and S. That way you have to settle each and every pose. And if you follow this thing properly, C, S, and C, you will see that your pendulum animation is done correctly. And this is not about only pendulum. Whenever you animate anything which is like a tail or a cloth or a hair, you have to do it in the same way. This is why they teach you the pendulum animation, so that you can animate hairs, so that you can animate tail, right? anything which has a sequential, which has a hierarchy, you can animate that in this certain way. Okay, right? As you can see, there are very minimum keys and every key has a meaning, because these are the steps you have to follow to do this animation. You cannot do it directly in a straight ahead format, like hitting a key, hitting a key, hitting a key. Not like that. Make sure you do the positioning, then you do this CSC principle, and slowly settle down all the things, and your animation will be done. If you're really looking to find the right steps, the right guidance about the animation career, you might have made some mistakes in the past while learning. So if you really want to correct that and speed up your career growth, you want to get started with your animation career, then mention in the comment section. I'll surely help you out, and I will create more videos like this to help you understand the actual animation process. So I hope you like the video. This is Naresh Chaudhary, India's first passion animator mentor, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and God bless.